Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic wherever you are in this world. It is absolutely disgusting the lengths Kody Joy will go to make $1, even if it's at the expense of a family's tragedy. Let's get into it, but before that, my usual disclaimer. Please do not take what I say as fact. Please feel free to do your own research and come to your own conclusions. It's no secret Kody Joy, aka Without a Crystal Ball, has not been doing very well on YouTube recently for maybe at least a month now. Possibly due to the fact that people are burned out hearing about sister wives. She thought it would help her gain these views by inserting herself into a legal situation which a few of us that report on her are involved in, and when that did not seem to work out or pan out, she bounced. She took to her YouTube channel to go live, which she has not done in quite a while, and decided to play victim when, in my opinion, Kody Joy is always the instigator. She then decided that she would do a live every week to enlighten people about the goings-on in the IBLP, and that she would do a live each week showing videos about what happens in these organizations. Well, that only lasted 1 week, and obviously it did not work for her. She then decided to go after Jim Holt and his family situation with minor kids being involved. And as per usual, that type of content is what, in my opinion, what Kody Joy gets the most enjoyment from. And that is absolutely inappropriate for someone that claims to fight for the well-being of these kids. From that, she then decided to reignite the Duggars, and she chose to use her Jenna Duggar and claim that the cops need to get involved to get Jenna away from her dad, who was Jim Bob, and even made accusations that Jim Bob was doing inappropriate things or did inappropriate things to Jenna. You see, Kody Joy puts all her eggs in one basket and feels as though she is the end-all be-all. She also tries to put it out there as if she is the go-to and she is the one with all the inside sources and contacts, whereas I think otherwise. She will do whatever she needs to get clicks and views, even if it's just pure speculation. Or maybe use one person's experience and paint them all with the same brush. The lengths she would go to get people to watch her videos or talk about her, the lengths that she and her husband would go to get people to go to her channel to talk about her. I actually did a video not so long ago when her husband admitted that he used their son to be loud. So other creators would do a video about their son being loud. If that is sick, just buckle your seatbelt, because this is the lowest of the low. On Tuesday, news had come out that Janelle and Kody Brown had lost their son. And this woman made these posts and then deleted them. I wonder why. Lost boys of polygamous cult faces an increased risk of death by suicide. If you need someone to talk to, call 988. You're not alone. Garrison Brown died by suicide today. Gabriel Brown called police after finding him deceased from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Details coming soon. I still say I wonder why she deleted that, because she does use the reference of Lost Boys in the video that she does make. She went onto her YouTube channel and spoke, in my opinion, out her arse, and immediately blamed Kody. And you guys can tell me if I'm wrong for thinking this. She also said that she saw a Facebook group posting about it, but there was no confirmation. So she decided to listen to scanners, which is illegal in Minnesota to do, to try figure out what was going on. But unfortunately for her, TMZ had already broken the news. Also, at this point, there's no exact details about why or any of this has happened.
What this Facebook group starts posting about Garrison Brown, and there's no confirmation. So we're like, what is going on? And I spent so much time digging, listening to scanners, trying to figure out what was going on. And I finally found police scanner records. And then by the time I found that, it was posted to TMZ. It's extremely unnerving to know that this has occurred, especially given that Kody is involved in a business that contributed to what happened today. He's not involved in what happened today.
Make that make sense, Kody Joy. And I quote, "It is extremely unnerving to know that this occurred, especially given that Kody is involved in a business that contributed to what happened today." Why mention that? Why even bring that up at this time if there's no ill will or there's no ill intent? That is just so out of pocket, Kody Joy. What is wrong with you? Also, in this video, she gives wrong information about Gabe and Garrison living together. And also, she got it wrong that he did not purchase a cat. He rescued a cat. She then goes into the disagreement or estrangement that Garrison had with his dad and how vocal he was with his displeasure with his father abandoning his family for Robin. How Kody, for the past 3 seasons, has been berating both Gabriel and Garrison. She says it is unknown what caused or specifically happened today for him to make this choice, but then goes on to say it's pretty obvious to people that watch the show that Kody berating his sons could not be healthy for them.
It's unknown what caused today, what happened specifically today for him to make this choice. It's been pretty obvious to people that watch the show that Kody's berating of his sons could not have been healthy for them.
This is insane, reckless, unnecessary. This is not the time for the blame game, especially when you do not have the facts. At the end of the day, Kody was this young man's dad. Not you or anybody, Kody Joy, can say how Kody feels at this time, or if he is not affected by the death of his son. Kids have fallouts with their parents constantly. Let's take you for example, Kody Joy. You denounced your own mother and father. You have claimed someone else as your mum, when in my opinion, your mum that you have mentioned has dementia needs you the most, yet you seem to have thrown her away like yesterday's garbage. Nobody knows what this young man was going through, the pain he felt, or who was the cause, or who is the cause, or what is the cause for him to have done this. It's not known. So who are you to be putting it out there like it's all Kody's fault? And for you to be sitting behind a camera like a coward and alluding to shit like this is absolutely wrong. It's heartless and gross, because this is definitely not what a journalist would do. A journalist would get their facts in order, get their ducks in a row, not assuming, speculating, going off what happened on a TV show that you have even preached over and over and over again how fake it is. And you're doing all this for clicks and views. And this is just the beginning, people. She ends this with making as though she is so heartbroken and like she is so devastated and she's crying. Bullshit. We've seen this happen time and time again, where Kody Joyce tries to make herself cry, but no tears come out. Pathetic, not even sad. And then the lost boys situation, that's where this comes in. And she feels that young men in polygamy feel that their only way out is this way, and this is the reason why.
It's a lost boy that has lost his life. But I also know that Garrison felt such a deep rejection from Kody. And I know that there's other kids in this family that are probably feeling the exact same way. And I just hope that at some point this is a wake-up call to this family that what's happening on television is not worth it. There is real-life consequences, and there's real children involved in this. These boys were crying out for love and affection and acceptance. But I can't imagine that what's happened publicly with the family couldn't have played a factor in how he was feeling.
You don't know that, Kody Joy. Nobody knows what was playing a factor for him to do what he had done, Kody Joy. Stop with your insinuating, stop with your alluding, stop with your leaning on your own understanding. This is not the time. These people need to heal. These people need to go through the process. What is wrong with you? This is just not right. That same day, she goes on to make another video about how family members have made statements, and the family made a statement via People magazine. And all this could have been posted to her Facebook or Instagram. But this trauma vulture is all about the money. In that same video, the second video she made, she just regurgitated all of the information. And once again, she was elaborating about the non-existent relationship that Garrison and his dad had, pushing a narrative. She is the most fake person I've ever come across. The lengths, once again, I'm saying, that she would go through to make money is sickening, especially off the pain, the tragedy that has unfolded in this family. This does not need to be done. This is so unnecessary. But Kody Joy has no boundaries. Kody Joy has no feelings. Kody Joy has no sympathy. She does not think about the next person. Then she makes a third video about the police report that TMZ and Radar Online had obtained, where she, in my opinion, blames Janelle and the assumption she makes, alluding to facts, leaning on her own understanding. It's just outrageous, absolutely outrageous. She then goes on to explain what was in the police report and the communication Janelle had with police officers. Janelle had told them that Garrison had texted a group of people that the Brown family had worked with, and presumably as part of their show. And the words that he sent was ominous. Now, before I go any further, Kody Joy tends to totally disregard keywords, and a keyword for me was presumably. So they could not be 100% sure, I take it, that it was people who was part of the show. Only the family can answer that. This is what the text had said.
And according to Janelle, via the police, the text read, "I want to hate you for sharing the good times, but I can't. I miss those days."
That could mean so many different things, and once again, we may never know, and I do not think anyone should be analyzing and trying to figure out, like Kody Joy is doing, about what happened. The family will speak out when they are ready.
Then one final detail that TMZ reported was that Janelle told cops that Garrison was estranged from his father, Kody.
Now, this is just me speculating on Janelle's response to the cops. Couldn't she just have been answering a question that the cops could have possibly asked her, and that was maybe, how do we contact his dad and let his dad know what happened?
Radar Online's reports, it gives a little bit more detail that TMZ does not give.
Okay, it's no secret that Kody Joy despises TLC and the Sister Wives. You will hear her blame the show and what they did and did not do, and she knows this, but she has to blame somebody. She has to put a negative spin somewhere, and that their religion that they follow did not allow drinking, drugs, all that kind of thing. And at the end of the day, kids grow up, they become adults, they experiment.
On the show, they have never discussed really any sort of issues that any of the kids might have with any kind of alcohol or using of any sort of substances. It's never been addressed, and for the most part, the family has been pretty adamant that they don't partake in those. They don't partake because of their belief system.
Kody Joy truly thinks that she's slick. Listen to this first clip.
In 2022, Janelle on the show does mention that she is worried about Garrison's mental health, and she pinpoints it to a decline that she has noticed in him due to the estrangement with his father, and that he wasn't as happy anymore, that she was worried about him, that he was a lot more angry and just not as happy-go-lucky as he used to be.
And then she goes ahead and blames Janelle for not getting Garrison the help he needed.
And so it sounds like between that time when it was filmed in 2022 to what occurred is that she didn't get him help. And in fairness, it's really not Janelle's responsibility to get him help.
In fairness, Kody Joy, was that just you trying to cover your ass?
Although, I mean, any parent of a child, even if it's an adult, can help encourage a child to seek help.
Kody Joy, with all that flip-flopping, so what is it? Is it Janelle's fault or is it not Janelle's fault? Should she have or shouldn't she have? Which is it? What are you trying to say? Because what I'm getting from that is that you're blaming Janelle for not getting her son the help he needed.
What I think is telling here is that his state of mind, it appears, at the end of his life is he's upset about about the way that life has turned out.
That's definitely not telling at all, Kody Joy, because you are spinning your own narrative. You are leaning on your own understanding. You don't know the facts. You don't know what was leading up to this. You don't know shit.
He's upset about where things were today. He is sending a text message to crew members that he should hate them, meaning he maybe has some resentment towards them about the show.
Kody Joy, just stop. Maybe, could have, should have, would have. That you don't know. For you to be speculating like this, for you to be analyzing what you want or what you think is coming out of all this is just wrong. This family is hurting. This family is grieving. This family has lost a child, a sibling, somebody that has left a hole in their heart. Stop.
Maybe he feels resentful about the cameras being in their lives, everything being documented.
Kody Joy, Garrison is gone. We will never know. Maybe we will find out once the family starts speaking. Stop leaning on your own understanding. All this is not worth the money that you're profiting off of his tragedy. This is not for you to profit off of, to be making dollars off of. Can you please just stop? Enough already. Once again, people, we do not know the state of mind Garrison was in. And here you have this evil, vile, greedy, manipulative woman leaning on her own understanding, causing her followers to believe her storyline as what may have been. This is just so wrong. Where is the respect that this family is asking for privacy? Once again, she mentions the fact that Janelle told the police that Kody is estranged from his son.
And she also mentions that he's estranged from his dad.
This is Kody Joy's reasons as to why Garrison sent that text message.
So he's clearly sad about the fact that the life that they have today has changed so drastically. Because in the early seasons, the family did a lot of stuff together. They went traveling, they did RV trips, they went to Hawaii, they went to Alaska, they went to California, they went camping in Big Bear. They did a lot of content for the show that was probably good memories that Garrison had with them and were opportunities that the family could all be together.
Yet again, Kody Joy mentions the fact that Janelle made mention that Kody and his son was estranged. What is up with her continuing to make mention of Janelle saying this to the police? What is the end game for this? What is it?
Another interesting point is that Janelle made a note to the police that Kody and Garrison were estranged.
In this next clip, you're going to hear Kody Joy and how she has, in my opinion, figured out why Garrison, or what led Garrison to do what he did to himself. This is so maddening to me. I can even punch my own phone right now because this is totally wrong for her to be speculating, for analyzing, for leaning on her own understanding, to speculate, allude to. It's just so wrong what she's doing. And why is she doing this?
Which seems to suggest to me that the estrangement he had with his dad was weighing on his heart and on his mind and was upsetting to him. And he likely didn't want to be estranged, but he was as a result of Kody's actions, of everything that had transpired. So it seems like it's sort of a mix of frustration about the show, frustration about his dad, and then mix that in with his mental health and substance abuse, and he ends his life. This is what I'm gleaning from the way that the police report is stating how his life was in the days that he was right before he passes.
You gleaned all that from a single police report that only reported on one day before he passed, or the day that he did pass. You're talking bullshit, Kody Joy. You just speculating and you leaning on your own understanding, creating your own narrative. That's what you're doing. She also claims that while she was editing this video and uploading it, her copy of the police report that she requested has arrived, and this is what she had to say about that.
As I was uploading and editing this video, a copy of the police report arrived after I'd requested one, and I noticed that in a conversation they had with one of the roommates, they said that Robert had been dealing and been very depressed lately. He also said that Robert is an alcoholic.
Did I miss something? How come her police report that she requested, did this roommate now say that Robert is an alcoholic? But none of the other reports that she was reading that was obtained by TMZ or by Radar Online did the roommate state that he was an alcoholic. Am I missing something?
And he advised that Robert has never said anything to him that would raise a red flag. He stated that he knew that Robert was having problems with his ex-girlfriend.
Wait, hold on. How come Katie Joy's police report is different from Radar Online's and TMZ's police report? Because if she said she went over those reports, she would have also come across this information. This roommate is now stating that Garrison, aka Robert, was having problems with his ex-girlfriend. So why does Katie Joy sound so sad? Is that because this could put a damper on her storyline of Kody being the reason for Garrison taking his own life? I don't mean to be disrespectful.
And that he was not a very happy person at the moment.
Once again, people, here we go with the Janelle making the statement to the police that Kody is estranged from his son. My word.
And then again, Janelle walks in while they're interviewing Gabriel, and she just tells them that about the text messages, and she also mentions that he's estranged from his dad.
It seems as though Katie Joy needs somebody to blame for what happened in Garrison's life, and with all the speculating assumptions, there has to be somebody in her mind to fit her storyline to blame. And if it's not Kody, if it's not Janelle, it's the culture, and that's what you're going to hear now.
At the very final moments of his life, you know, he's struggling with alcohol, and he grew up in a society that really is abstinent from alcohol. He also grew up in a culture that mental illness is not, unfortunately, taken seriously. It's sort of viewed in that culture that they grow up in and that they're indoctrinated in. Mental illness is looked at as a weakness. It's looked at as something's wrong with you, not that there's actually a chemical imbalance. And they discourage using psychologists. They discourage going to doctors for this. And even though he's out of that world, Kody and Kody and Garrison had not spoken in years, apparently. Or if they had, it hadn't been much, because the Sun is basically reporting that they don't have much contact. Kody and him never made up. They never reconciled. And that was a heavy part of his pain.
She just cannot help herself. Keeps going back to Kody and this estrangement.
My heart goes out to the family. I don't know how the family recovers from this.
Katie Joy, let's be clear. First of all, you've got to have a heart for your heart to go out to people. And secondly, families don't ever recover from a tragedy like this. And what you're doing does not help the situation. The speculation, the assumptions, the alluding to is absolutely disgusting on your part.
His final text messages are to members of the crew. I can definitely see why the family would want privacy. They probably don't want that information known.
That's not true, Katie Joy. Family want privacy so they can figure out what happened, what was going on with their child, their son, their sibling, leading up to those days. They want to get all their facts in order. What happened that led him to take his own life?
But I also don't know how TLC moves forward with this show, knowing that one of the pain points for him had to do with the show.
Once again, Katie Joy, you don't know that as fact. You don't know what led Garrison to do what he did. You don't know if it had anything to do with the show. Period.
And then all you have to do is go and look back at last season and the last few seasons to see how Kody's spoken about those boys, to see why Garrison would be struggling and how that would impact his mental health.
Why are you pushing out the storyline, this narrative, that people need to go back to the show to see how their father treated them? What if it had nothing to even do with all that? But you need to make up this so you can have a storyline that's going to last you for months to come, to be exploiting this tragedy so you can make money off of this tragedy. That is totally, sorry for my language, fucked up.
It's so sad. My heart goes out to the family. I don't know what TLC is going to do now that this information is out, but a path forward on the show seems hard given the reality of what has come to pass.
Katie Joy, if your heart truly went out to this family, you would not be doing what you have been doing since learning of the death of their son. If your heart truly went out to this family that you have exploited and profited off for years, you would be respecting their wishes for privacy and not be gaslighting your audience. You would allow the family to grieve in peace. Followed suit on what other creators have been doing and honoring Garrison and paying tribute to him. In the past 24 hours, Katie Joy has not helped in any way in regard to this family's tragedy. She, in my opinion, has caused more harm than good. I want to point out that Katie Joy goes ballistic when people talk about her son. Yet, here she is making accusations, assumptions, and speculating on the cause of why Garrison, the son of Kody and Janelle, took his own life. This is a tragedy and nothing less. This is not a storyline. This is not a story where anyone should be putting blame on anyone, let alone a parent. You can dislike Kody, but get the facts before labeling him as being a cause for his son's death, as Katie Joy has done, in my opinion. The world lost a good man. Garrison was full of life and he had so much to offer, but clearly he was struggling and he did not want to burden anyone and hid his pain and suffering. Katie Joy claimed to be an advocate. This is not the way an advocate conducts themselves. And also, let me point out, she claims that she has all the sources, yet in this situation, she has to depend on police scanners, which she herself said she turned to. And again, it is illegal in Minnesota. And she claimed that a Facebook group was posting about it, but they had no verification. And how does Katie Joy verify her stories? She has no sources, in my opinion. For this important story, she had to turn to a tabloid, the same tabloid she accused of reporting false information not so long ago. For her to get information about the kids in the Brown family, she turns to their social media. Another example, she turns to Garrison Brown, whose content she uses from behind a paywall. She has been on a dry spell, like I said, for quite a few weeks. Take a look at her views from these 3 videos she has done on this tragedy, and nothing is based on facts, except for the latest police report that she originally reported on from TMZ and Radar Online, and had the audacity to claim her video as an exclusive. She has accumulated over 400,000 views on just these 3 videos in just over 24 hours of the tragedy of this family. How many more videos are you going to make profiting off this family's pain? How is she not a trauma vulture or tragedy pimp, as many others call it? How is this okay? And all the sob stories about the kids and how she watched them grow up and how her heart goes out to them. No, it doesn't. This is all for clicks, views, and most importantly, money. I'm going to leave you with these last 2 posts. The one was from early in the day and the last one was of late. And this is going to show you how Katie Joy is so vile, disgusting, inconsiderate. It's just wrong. So she made this post. Garrison Brown's final hours revealed in Flagstaff PD report, which was obtained by WOACB. Janelle is left devastated and told PD that, and I quote, "I should have gotten him help," end quote. Garrison's frustration with the show and his father were at the forefront of his mind on the day of the incident. Absolutely false. Did the police report tell her that? Or was she leaning on her own understanding once again? Then she makes these posts, deleting every comment, telling me to stop reporting on a tragic death of a public figure from a public family on a reality show. Every media outlet is reporting on the situation, and I will continue to do so as I have covered this family and polygamy for 5 years. I'm not contacting the family or invading their privacy by reporting on public photos and reports. Then she says, every major outlet and major news outlets are reporting on this death. Every single media outlet is reporting. Privacy has not been invaded by reporting on a death. This is an unfortunate part of my job, that I have to report on tragedies. But these stories matter, and his life mattered. Has anyone seen these media outlets reporting and elaborating on how Kody was estranged from his son, or how Kody is in the business that contributed to his son's death? Also, constantly saying how Janelle told police that Kody was estranged from his son and that Janelle should have gotten him help. Or, how is TLC going to move forward because Garrison's last text message presumably was to crew members? I have not seen those statements by any other news outlets. So, if you guys can correct me, I'd truly appreciate that. Kody Joy is using this tragedy and the death of this young man to take jabs at TLC, to continue to get people to hate Kody Brown, and to continue to make money off people like the Duggars and Sister Wives. Period, point blank. And her audience is buying into these falsehoods and lies she is spreading. I will leave you with this. This person says, and this was a comment left on Without a Crystal Ball's video, "I've lost a son. This is that family's tragedy. It's gross that you've posted about it 4 times in less than 24 hours. One RIP post would be enough. To a parent who has lost a child, regardless of your intentions, this looks like you're capitalizing on his death for clicks." Next person, "I agree." Another one, "I agree." To which the last person says, "You don't know Kody very well then. She is most certainly not heartless like that. Just because you lost a son, that has nothing to do with Garrison." I could hear the pain in Kody's voice. Stop talking out of your ass and keep it pushing. Now, these are the type of people that support Kody Joy. These are the type of people that believe all the bullshit that she spreads. Can you imagine the amount of hatred Kody will be getting, or even Janelle? Just think about this, people. So you guys, I'm going to leave you with that. Please, if there's anybody that you know that is struggling, that is having a hard time, please let them know to call or text 988. Please know you are not alone. Once again, my deepest condolences go out to the entire Brown family. With all that said, thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Please don't forget, if you're the praying kind, keep this entire Brown family in your thoughts and prayers. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Please be safe out there. Be kind to one another, and don't forget, make good memories. Bye, guys.